So we're going into the aspects of recording because that's the next step. Obviously, I've got most of my stuff already recorded, but you don't. Or maybe you do. Okay, let's say hypothetically you do. After you do a lot of your recording, and I'm assuming that you're going to have probably about 4 tracks. And after you get done with that, or 8 tracks, 16 tracks, I don't know, maybe 2 tracks, then it comes time to a point where you have to do your editing. Now, if you can't afford to go into a recording studio to have this stuff done, then that means you have to do it yourself. And that's what I've been doing. I think over the years I've become a better producer than I was years ago, especially with the equipment that I have. I'm still rather limited, but you should know your equipment enough so that you can know what you can do and what you can't do. I mentioned this before, but there's sometimes I'll be laying in bed and I get this idea in my head, and so I reach over, grab a guitar, go out in the living room, and maybe take a pad and a pen and work at something. And I'll take that idea and amplify it a little bit. I mean, sometimes the words are in my head, so I'll write down some words. Sometimes it's just a musical idea with the hook involved. And when I would get something like that, then I would go out, and like I say, in the living room, and I would document it with using my cell phone. And cell phones are really cool because I'm going to say especially in Apple iPhone, because it has really good sound. It has really good microphones to record stuff. When I say really good, I'm not saying sure quality. And I even went out a long time ago, this is before they have this new ending here, to get a special microphone to plug into it so that I could have a better microphone. Well, you know what? I didn't hear any difference between that and the microphone that came with the phone. And these ones have only gotten better. So when is enough? Now, we talked about this before. When is enough? And I have to share with you, that's an individual decision. I get to a certain point where I've recorded this stuff. Well, let's say, you record, you've got these tracks already recorded, and you're going to be mixing them down into a stereo track. And you say to yourself, well, this could be better. And arguably, even a lot of the stuff that the Beatles did in the 60s on Sgt. Pepper could have been better, but there's a certain point where you just say, I like this. This is good. Or in my case, because I didn't have George Martin as a producer to make my stuff much more perfect, but in my case, because I keep having more songs coming to me, I say, well, this is good enough for now, and I'll come back maybe and re-record that if I feel like I need to do that. And I have done that with a lot of songs, but there's some songs that I just get to a certain point and I say, I like that just the way it is. I'm not going to try and fix that. When is it enough? That's going to be up to you, but I will tell you, you can spend way too much time on something, and then you find that all that extra time that you spent on it didn't amount to very much. Sometimes just let it go and say, that's okay. That's pretty good. I give you one more illustration. speaking about that. When is enough enough? I have a song that I've re-engineered called Boy with a Broken Heart. Now there's a really nice harmonica part at the end of that, and I recorded that back in '92, so I was re-recording that, and I wanted that harmonica to sound identical, because it was a good harmonica part back then. And there's probably, maybe 30 seconds, maybe 45 seconds of harmonica at the end of that song. And here's what I finally realized. I couldn't get it any better than it was. I couldn't exactly duplicate the other one because that was then and this is now. But it got to a point where I just realized, you know what? It's good enough. It's good enough, and it is good enough. When you listen to it, you'll see what I'm talking about. Pretty good harmonica music, and I was actually not talking about you got to. I was talking about you got to believe, not the other. Although there's a good harmonica in that one too. And that brings me to another subject, and that is voices. You can call them colors, you can call them psychology, but with everything that you add to your song, let's say you're singing a song and you got your guitar music going and then you add a voice to that. What I'm saying, when you add that voice, it changes what you're doing. You're no longer just strumming chords, you're adding a tone, and that tone that you add to that adds a different color, and it changes everything. Everything gets changed with that.
All the things that we need, tomorrow won't matter anyhow.
Well, you can think about that analogy, but the main thing that you need to know is that for every voice that you put in there, it's going to change the whole overall project. Now, there can be a time, and I'll just give you an illustration in a second, where you put a voice in there, and then when I say a voice, I'm not just talking about my voice. It could be a guitar, it could be a harmonica, could be a keyboard, could be a banjo. Oh boy, a banjo it's a powerful instrument, that banjo. I've got a banjo that was given to me by my friend Larry, and it's loud. I mean, it doesn't need to have an amplifier on it because it says, I got my own amplifier with this little baffle thing I have on the back. But, okay, I digress. So, voices. Different voices will change everything. But I want to give you an illustration here, because I'm re-engineering, for instance, I'm re-engineering a song called Lonely Too Long. It's got to be on this next album because it is very country and westernish from the 70s era, probably early 70s, maybe late 60s. But country and western, like I was mentioning before, was different back then, and that's what I was aiming for at this point. But anyways, I recorded this song, and
nevertheless, I search out for what is really true.
I recorded
something inside says
I've got a
the
little
other thing
spreadsheet
is
here, which I'll bring up and show you the
supposed
spreadsheet.
to do.
Maybe I'll do that in this video here.
Not sure
I'll do that
anymore if or when it'll happen.
because I'm going to need this much time just to explain this last part. But okay, so Lonely Too Long originally was written in 1973. In fact, I still remember, might have been 72, 73, somewhere in that era. I was living at the Kingford, the Kingston Apartments on Northwest 20th and Burnside in Portland, Oregon. And I recorded it on my, in fact it was it my first? I think only too long. Maybe A Working Man was first.
To get to where
I don't remember. Go back and forth. I recorded them about the same time, and then I put the two albums together. But 73 was when that song was written, and I recorded it back in 91, and then I re-recorded it in 2017 on the Alter Egos and Secret Identities album. And that was going to be my newest breakout album. I mean, I retired, and during that year that I had retired, I wrote an album called Eccentricity, which is a dynamite album, but it deals an awful lot. It's a concept album that deals an awful lot with now that you're older, what are you going to do? And what are you seeing and how are you feeling? So if you get a chance, go ahead and listen to that. But back to this, Alter Egos and Secret Identities was my new breakout album, and I had a lot of country and western stuff on there, but I had other eclectic stuff, but it was just fabulous blues, good harmonica work in a lot of the stuff that I did on that. But when I originally recorded this, I recorded it with a very strong harmonica voice at the beginning. In fact, let me let you hear what it sounds like, okay? Because I'm going to turn it on and we'll hear what that sounds like. Now, if you listen, see if you can hear the guitars. See if you can hear the bass. See if you can hear the drums. You know what? You can't. But what I want you to do is listen to this here. I'm going to rewind that. And this is how I'm going to re-engineer this song. I'm going to start it off with no harmonic at the beginning. I'm going to amplify the guitars, and I'm going to amplify the keyboards to some degree. Obviously, we need to hear the drums, and we need to hear some more bass. So what I'm doing here is I'm changing some of the levels, okay? And I've taken that harmonica out. Let's hear what that sounds like now, okay? So I think you get the idea, and I'm really close to 15 minutes, so I think we're going to end that right here, and you come back and we'll take part 2 of editing and doing some of the stuff that I do that maybe you can be assisted in doing. Okay, so we'll see you. Bye.